made a video on this lawsuit between Niji Sanji and this Japanese drama tuber called Narukami Sabaki. It is an old story. It started in October 2020. No, sorry, the inciting incident happened in mid 2020, even earlier than that. There was basically beef and dispute between this Niji Sanji liver called Roa. She really looks like Iris. She is this liver with the red hair. If you don't recognize her, it's probably for a reason. It's because she hasn't streamed ever since the lawsuit started. Now remember, this is a lawsuit that lasted 6 years. 6 years. Why? What happened is that Roa complained to management because there was a new liver that had debuted not too long ago called Mero. And Mero was, according to Roa, like copying her speech pattern and like the dialect that belonged to her lore or something. I don't remember if it's her lore or the region she actually came from, but she was basically heavily copying Roa's like unique lore specific dialect. And Roa was like, well, this is creating brand confusion because, I have my lore and you should have your thing. This is my thing. So get your own thing. You kind of overstepping over like my character and my kayfabe, and we all work in the same company, so we need to be distinct. This escalated when Narukami Sabaki, this guy, who's like a very sensationalist Japanese drama tuber, apparently started receiving a tip from somebody internal and Niji Sanji, and he started leaking like internal documents. He had access to some like messages that staff would send. Yeah, there was internal Discord messages as well. And in the video, he basically accused Roa of power harassment and bullying Mero. The public backlash against Roa was quite severe, which made her lose subscribers and forced her into an indefinite hiatus. At least that's the official story. After that, Niji Sanji released a statement saying that they believe that the person who leaked all that information to Narukami Sabaki was Mero. So they terminated her. And then Annie Color and Roa sued Narukami Sabaki. First, they tried to sue him for criminal charges because I guess defamation can be criminal in Japan. I need like a lawyer to confirm this, but I feel like we heard that somewhere, probably from Legal Mindset at some point back when he was covering like the Niji Sanji stuff. So they were seeking compensation for the destruction of the career and the impact on Roa's life. Roa at that point went completely silent. She made like a few tweets, and then most of the communications after that were done by her lawyer called Ozawa, Kazuhito Ozawa, which is his representative, and he's been like mostly tweeting from his Twitter account some updates here and there, but they have like years-long gap between them. Nicolor and Roy initially pushed for criminal defamation charges, but in 2023, the Japanese police, they opted not to prosecute the case, so it was dropped, and then the legal team had to do civil lawsuit. And now, finally, Narukami Sabaki tweeted that the case had reached a settlement, basically, closing a 6-year drama. A 6-year long like lawsuit and drama. People were speculating at one point that Roa was streaming on another alt. This is still misinformation and circulating up to this point because she completely denied those claims every time she was asked. Like the person they believe was Roa, and I speak about it in my video, like I debunked it. So yeah, yet though Niji Sanji's been releasing merch of Roa, they've been releasing voice packs. It's unknown whether she's been recording new voice packs for them behind the scenes all this time, or if they're just reusing the same voice pack she recorded like 6 years ago. 6 years is too long to litigate this. But like, imagine Roa has been stuck in lawsuit limbo, unable to stream this entire time. She did like an interview shortly after the whole lawsuit happened, saying how it like really affected her. But it's been 6 years. So I'm wondering what she was doing, if she got over it, if it was a personal reason why she decided to stop streaming. But everybody just assumes that it's Niji Sanji who basically told her not to stream. That is like the public speculation, I suppose. 6 years is not long for a lawsuit. For a COVID lawsuit, it's not that long because during COVID, all the lawsuits got pushed back 2 years further, and it already takes 2 years just to see your lawsuit in court sometimes. So it's like, I mean, there's 4 years there just waiting, and then sometimes one party or another will stall on purpose. But let's see what Narukami tweeted. He says the lawsuit with Yuzuki Roa-san has concluded since the settlement was reached at the end of May this year. We have been waiting for a statement from the other party up until today. As such, I cannot provide a detailed explanation right now, so for the time being, I will share only the key points. The information was primarily obtained from the person themselves, one affiliated live streamer, and an individual who brought in information that only insiders could know. Unclear if they are a live streamer. So he doesn't confirm if the person he got the information on for that live stream that he did, for that video that he did, was a live streamer. And then, however, some of the obtained information contained inaccuracies, which has been acknowledged with an apology. So he was forced to do an apology, and he was forced to say that like his video was misinformed. It feels like the wording here is very soft though. Regarding the content and timing of the statement from the other party, I have not been informed, so I cannot provide any further immediate explanation. In fact, any time to consider whether an explanation is even feasible in the first place. As a result, I apologize for having conveyed false information to everyone. I am truly sorry. And all the replies are shitting on him. Took 5.5 years to say sorry for lying, Lamau. Even if you apologize now after doing nothing for 6 years, those 6 years of hers aren't coming back. You know. If you're serious about reflecting on it, shouldn't you quit all activities right now and stop sticking your neck in this scene ever again? Didn't he have also his own branch out drama? I think with like a girl that was he had like a mommy that was like paying him for his lawsuit or some shit. But what surprised everybody? Yes, he had like a sugar mommy. I also remember something about a sugar mommy. I just had this flash while I read this. Yes, and he lost her and she got mad at him. She was like financing his lawsuit. So some people were saying there's two things. It's a settlement. There's no talk of any like financial penalty or any other damages. And a lot of people were saying that like this is like a devastating loss for Niji Sanji and Roa because they spent 6 years on this for practically nothing. However, her lawyer disagrees. He basically explains here that they decided to go not for the money, because if they went for the money, they wouldn't have been able to get the apology and the official record that Roa that the stream on Roa was false, and they really wanted that. They wanted to prioritize that. So they decided to go for, like, Narukami has to release an apology and do a whole statement about it. And instead of putting, like, the money and the damages reparations in the forefront. So he says, regarding the defamation case involving a VTuber we took on around 2020, I will report on behalf of Yumizuki Roa. This matter has involved prolonged litigation proceedings, but it was resolved through a settlement on May 18. Note that regarding item 2.3 of the attached settlement terms, the phrase was not affiliated with Any Color Inc. at the time, was pointed out by the defendant sides after the settlement was reached, and we continued it to be a clerical error for was affiliated with Any Color Inc. at the time. Officially, the lawsuit was filed with the aim of holding accountable the VTuber who streamed the video that triggered the defamation. But ultimately, rather than simply obtaining a court judgment on the monetary claim, we determined together with Yumizuki Roa that it would be more appropriate from the perspective of restoring her honor to confirm, through the settlement process, the circumstances under which the other party's VTuber stream came to occur. Originally, the lawsuit was filed with the aim of... Oh no, we read that. In a judgment, only determinations are made regarding the requirement for recognizing liability for damages, infringement of rights, intent or negligence, presence of damage, and the background circumstances are not necessarily clarified. Whereas in a settlement proceeding, the agreed matters between the parties can include a variety of content. So we chose resolution through settlement proceedings. I didn't know that. I didn't know that a settlement could include like different things. You could get, I guess you can cook more with a settlement. That's what they're saying here. This matter is now resolved. As for Yumizuki Roa's future activities, This is the question that everybody wanted to know. Will Yuzuki Roa return to streaming? Unfortunately, he's not given us this answer. Even in my position as a representative, it is not for me to comment, so I will refrain from mentioning them. Approximately 5.5 years have passed since this issue arose, but even now, likes and reposts continue to come in on the post that you, Mizuki Roa, or I made about this matter at the time. I believe it has been a great encouragement to you, Mizuki Roa. Thank you very much for your continued support over such long period. Court order apology and a settlement isn't that uncommon. Yeah, I mean, that was the least they could have done. This was, I mean, good for the lawyer. She seemed to have a good lawyer. I hope it was fully covered by any color too. And I hope she'll come back to streaming. That would be nice. I think she'd have quite the greeting and she'd have a lot of fans. Her model was really cute. So yeah, wish her the best. I mean, this is probably one of the times where I think I agreed with, like, I think Niji Sanjis weren't the bad guys there. They actually like stuck up for their livers. But of course, we don't really know the details of why she hasn't been streaming. Nothing is confirmed on why she didn't stream. No, I didn't find anything on that. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you in the next video.